The future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also their TV shows to come on Disney+, as well as the new Star Wars trilogy, these new Star Wars movies to be released throughout this entire decade, that is going to bring Star Wars fans into a brand new mythology. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one exciting thing about the future of Star Wars is that we do know that Kathleen Kennedy is no longer involved on a creative level for the new projects that are in the early development phase, whether it's for Disney Plus when it comes to animated TV series or live-action TV series out there, or when it comes down to the new Star Wars movies. Kathleen Kennedy will no longer have a say in the matter of really changing creative aspects of those projects. So that's one thing to look forward to, is that, yes, these movies and these TV shows are going to have a different tone to it all, as well as the new Star Wars universe that also applies to books, novels, and comics, and more. So the thing about Disney's new CEO, Bob Chapek, is that he is giving a major facelift over at Lucasfilm to really give fans a different and brighter future for the Star Wars franchise and itself as a brand. And that's one thing that I think a lot of fans are going to respect the most, is that the new Star Wars universe is going to have a different feel to it all. It's still going to be Star Wars, but it's going to have a different tone, if you will, now that Kathleen Kennedy is no longer involved. Now, the thing that's really intriguing to me the most about all of this is, of course, now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are focused on the new Star Wars trilogy of films as well as their new Star Wars universe, where it's noted that currently Disney has multiple plans in place in order to reunite the fans around the world and to create a better future for Star Wars in general. It's explained that the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, has been making many changes over at Lucasfilm, including bringing George Lucas back on the table for the development of the new Star Wars universe. It's explained that as of right now, Bob Chapek has allowed George Lucas to make major adjustments and to end many concepts from Kathleen Kennedy for the High Republic era of Star Wars. It's explained that George Lucas is currently hard at work with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau and making major changes to the High Republic era that takes place in between the prequels and the Old Republic, and that George Lucas is canceling many of Kathleen Kennedy's ideas, where it's explained that the High Republic was the last project that Kathleen Kennedy recently had creative control over, besides The Rise of Skywalker, and that from this point forward, many of George's ideas will be implemented into the High Republic era. It's explained that this concept of them bringing in no wars in the High Republic is now being restored to be a war-focused era, and that George Lucas is getting rid of the dinosaurs being a part of the High Republic era, and also changing that and also to taking those ideas out made by Kathleen Kennedy and the creative team over at Lucasfilm. So this is fantastic news because, like I say, a lot of fans had a lot of, I guess you could say, were very skeptic about the new High Republic era. A lot of fans were pretty much mixed about how they felt about this new era of Star Wars that takes place roughly, a couple of hundred years before the events of the prequel trilogy era. I believe it's 200 years before Episode 1, The Phantom Menace to be exact, and it is an interesting era because it's going to deal with a time of the Jedi that we have never seen and takes place in between the Old Republic and the prequel trilogy era. So the fact that initially they did not want these actual stories to really be focused on war. They wanted it to focus on something else entirely, which to me made no sense because the title is Star Wars. You're going to take war out of the equation here. That just makes no sense at all. Once again proves to us, the fans, that Kathleen Kennedy, as president of Lucasfilm, really has no idea exactly what she's doing. So the fact that Bob Chapek allowed George Lucas to come in and make major adjustments to the High Republic era is a fantastic move. It's a step in the right direction, and I think it's something that was absolutely necessary at this point in time in order to really bring Star Wars back on track to what it really should be. It should be war-focused. That's exactly what it really is at the end of the day. It has it right in the title. And I'm really mind-boggled as to why Kennedy wouldn't even want wars to be a thing in the High Republic era. I'm sure that you guys saw the trailer for the High Republic introduction, where there is a little shot there on a chalkboard where you see dinosaurs on the list. You see how they didn't want to focus on war in these new Star Wars films. All these ideas between Kennedy and the creatives over at Lucasfilm are now being put to the wayside and are being fine-tuned by creator George Lucas. And best of all is that this was Kathleen Kennedy's final piece of work, of which he was able to actually have creative control over. So this is George Lucas literally just ending all of Kathleen Kennedy's ideas and concepts in one batch because of Bob Chapek allowing this to happen. And I think that this is a fantastic move. I think that we're going to see a better future for Star Wars in the coming years, and I personally cannot wait. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night to moon.